Hey, David.
Hey, Vince.
Just wanted to get an update on Phil Chytil and, curious if there's any chance of him missing tomorrow's game.
Yeah, Phil's back in New York seeing the doctors, so he will be out for tomorrow. We'll have a lot more after he sees the doctors tomorrow.
Next question comes from Rick Carpinello with The Athletic. Carpy, go ahead.
Hey, David.
Carpy?
How would you sum up the first 5 games? I mean, is there a common? I mean, obviously you're all over the map too, but is there a common thing there that you learned from this team?
Well, I mean, like I mentioned last night, it's frustrating because I think that we have done a lot of good things, but doing a lot of good things doesn't equate to winning. I mean, winning takes making timely plays and understanding situations, and we have been just off, and statistically, you look at all the chances, grade A's, chances against, the shot totals. I mean, statistically, it looks like we should have a much better record than we do, but we don't, and that's what winning and losing are all about. I mean, that's why statistics can sometimes be misleading. You've got to do things timely. You've got to understand when to make the right play at the right time, and situational hockey is so important. And I just think we're just off a little bit in that area.
Next question comes from Colin Stevenson with Newsday. Colin, go ahead.
Yeah, Dave, with Filip obviously not going to play tomorrow and us not being able to watch your practice, I was wondering if you made any line changes, like who would go into that spot? Would it be Brett who did it last night, or would it be someone else? And then does that lead to other changes in your lines?
Yeah, we're talking about doing a lot of different things, and I'm glad you weren't able to watch practice. So we'll see. We'll see tomorrow what it's going to look like, but it's going to look different, obviously, without Phil.
Next question comes from Mark Rosenman with Sports Talk New York. Mark, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, I just wanted to piggyback on Carpy's question. So, statistically, yes, you guys are all there, but, doing a little deeper dive into the teams you've played. So, basically, you guys are giving away 2 years in age on average, and you're giving away 3 years in experience on average. Given that, and the fact that you're right there, does that bode well as these guys get more experience, and maybe the difference is that experience? And then on the other hand, I know this is not the start you wanted to get off to, but with this schedule, you still have 36 points on the table against those teams that you've played, so there's plenty of time to make these points up.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, we don't like it's 5 games, and if we have built a little bit of a foundation here, we're going to continue to do the things we've done well, and have people that have been off to slow starts find their game. Guys that have historically played a lot better than they have up to this point. I really like our future, and I like our chances moving forward. So, that's the silver lining from my end of it. I think that, we've kind of created a little bit of an identity in 5 games. I think we've done a real good job staying on top of people. We're not giving up the crazy chances we've had. Some guys that we weren't sure how they were going to play this year are playing well. So when everything falls into place, and the guys that have been here a while and guys that are veterans that find their game, get back to the way they've been playing, and we continue to do the things we're doing, we think we're going to be in good shape.
Next question comes from Vince Mercogliano. Vince, go ahead.
David, yesterday when we were talking about putting Smith in for Johnson, you mentioned that, we have 7 defensemen, we're going to use them and that kind of thing. But, with the taxi squad, you guys also have Boteto and Hayek. So I'm curious if there's any talks about using those guys. And then specifically with Hayek, this is a young guy I know you guys are trying to develop. He was on the team for a little bit last year. I mean, what does that development path look for him right now?
Yeah, it is challenging. We certainly do talk about getting those guys in. Like I said, it's 5 games into it. We've got to continue to find a way to keep these guys sharp and in great shape. We love Libor. I think very highly of Libor, and they're here. The good news is, under these unique circumstances, these guys can stay here and get in games when need be, and I'm sure at some point they will get in.
Next question comes from Molly Walker with the New York Post. Molly, go ahead.
Hi, David. Is there a timetable yet on Chytil or an idea of how severe it is? And obviously you don't want to lose any player, but losing Chytil in particular, he's been the most productive center so far and was seemingly getting into a groove. How big of a loss is this for any amount of time in the condensed schedule?
Yeah, if we do lose him for an extended period of time, it is going to be a blow. But, every team in the league is suffering injuries, and we're no different. So, that's pro sports. Certainly it's the National Hockey League, and we've got to have guys pick up the slack if he is out for an extended period of time.
And final question we have in queue is from Colin Stevenson. Colin, go ahead.
Dave, we talked about the goaltending last night, and you have obviously confidence in both of these guys. First of all, is which one of them is starting tomorrow? And second of all, what did Igor say about those two goals?
Well, I mean, Igor, I talked to him today, and he was frustrated. You can see he was a little bit dejected after the last two games, but it's a long season, and again, the circumstances are a little different than they were last year, and he's adapting to that, as is Georgie. So Georgie will play tomorrow, and like I said, I mean, it's 5 games into it. Those guys certainly want to play better, and I'm very confident that they will.